Gentleman from Albemarle, Mr. Bell.
Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, like many of you, I was very unhappy to see this article that came out in the Saturday Richmond Times-Dispatch. It reads, the headline, "Murderer could be sent to Germany," and describes the actions by our outgoing governor to arrange the transfer of Jens Soering. Now, some of you are new, and it's been many years since the case, so I'd like to review the facts for everybody. Jens Soering and his girlfriend Elizabeth Haysom were students at UVA, and they cooked up a scheme to kill her parents. Now, they weren't stupid. What they wanted was an alibi, and so Yen and Elizabeth went up to D.C., got a hotel room, even got some movie ticket stubs, which they saved. Soering then got in a rented car, drove down to Bedford, had dinner with Derek and Nancy Haysom. After dinner, he stabbed them both to death. He stabbed Mr. Haysom, who put up a pretty good fight, 36 times. He stabbed the mom 8 times. He then drove back to D.C. Now, it was only extraordinary police work that enabled them to be caught. A country deputy, Ricky Gardner, actually went to the rental car, looked at the odometer, and recognized that the number of miles didn't add up. In fact, what it added up to was a trip to D.C., to Bedford, back to D.C., and then back to Charlottesville. Now, with the news closing in on Haysom and Soering, they went on the run. They actually fled overseas. They went on an international crime spree that took them to Bangkok, Moscow, Yugoslavia, Bombay. They were finally caught breaking the law in England. Soering fought extradition, was brought back to Bedford, faced a Bedford County jury, and the only way to get him back was he agreed that we would not do the death penalty. The local prosecutor said he wouldn't seek the death penalty. Soering was tried by a Bedford County jury, received 2 life sentences, was sent off to prison where he was serving in Buckingham County. Now, you would have thought, after he exhausted his 10 years of appeals, after his parole was denied by the parole board, that this would be the end of it, that the Haysom family could move on and have closure. But not in this case. Mr. Soering was unusually well connected. He is a very wealthy father who's involved with the German ministry, foreign ministry. And right before he left office, our outgoing governor saw fit to approve a transfer to Germany. And after 2 years in German prison, he would be released, or be eligible for release. Now, I would submit for all of you that this is a grotesque miscarriage of justice. In 25 years, quarter century, we have not had a more vile, abominable murder in Central Virginia. And if there's anybody who shouldn't be released, it's this man. Now, I have here, the good news is, if there is any, this is not yet a done deal. Governor McDonnell recently took all the steps his office can take to revoke the offer, and the final decision is going to be made by the Department of Justice up in Washington. We have here a letter at my desk. I hope all of us will sign it as representatives of our community, asking the Department of Justice to deny the transfer to ensure that Jens Soering will serve the rest of his sentence here in Virginia. Now, I suspect that many of you are prepared to sign this letter, but let me make a special appeal to some of you who may not yet be ready. First, if you oppose the death penalty, this is why some of us are worried about life without parole not equaling the death penalty. This will be Exhibit 1 for the rest of my career of why that is not the same thing. If you oppose the death penalty, you have to enforce life without parole, which this is not. It's a loophole. You got to come sign the letter. If you believe that the Virginia criminal justice system is unfair because it favors those who are rich or well-connected or white, you should sign this letter. There's 1,549 people serving time in Virginia for first-degree murder. Only one person got this special privilege, and it's entirely because of his connections and his wealth. So please, sign the letter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jens Soering has spent the last 25 years trying to make a mockery of the Virginia criminal justice system. He started by creating an alibi. When that didn't work, he fled. And when that didn't work, he appealed his way to the court in The Hague. He is trying to make a game of this. Please do not let him win. Don't let him win. Sign the letter. Let's ask the Justice Department to do the right thing and deny the transfer. Thank you.